But D-Wade wants to try and make it seem like this is something, he wants to make it seem like something's wrong with you for not just accepting this for what it is.
Man. Yo, what's up? This bruh man from the fifth floor, and you tuned in to Forgotten Kings TV.
We done brought up NBA players.
Jam.
NBA players. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Craig, Darlene, anybody in the room? If somebody has an obnoxious, rude woman with them at the dinner table while y'all out, you know who I'm talking about, them bitches. Ah, fuck that. This obnoxious woman.
Right.
Or they got their son who dresses like a woman.
Oh.
Which is worse to deal with?
And he's obnoxious, the son?
No, his son got on a dress and lipstick and a skirt.
That's, man, I
Which is worse?
I guess
Why
for
is
you
the
guys
son
that would
with
be
us?
worse, but I think anybody that is interrupting
You sitting up there, you got the choice. An obnoxious woman who doing way too much, or somebody whose son got on lipstick, a skirt, eyelashes, wig.
Right.
You supposed to just sit there like this normal. Or talk to him like it's normal. You tell me, what's the worst scenario to be in?
The son.
Because it's still a man too. So what if you had to like defend yourself?
Why
You
is
don't
he
wanna
here?
fight. Yeah, what happened?
Greg,
Why-
you speaking how I speak.
Yeah, why is he here with? Don't you got a boyfriend, nigga? Go to Wiener Schnitzel and sit on one of them. You know what I mean? Sit
Why
on.
did that just happen?
No, I saw this interview with Dwayne Wade, and I just don't understand why Dwayne Wade likes to talk about everything good about his son except the elephant in the room.
Oh, didn't the son just turn 18 or something like that, right? The one that,
Do we got that video together, Abe?
I thought I saw that.
He
on
about to
his-
turn up.
You got that video, Abe? Okay. Because I just want, I'm gonna get flack for this, but you can't bring a nigga, you can't bring a man dressed like a woman in front of me and expect me not to say, what the hell is this? You can't do it. You're not finna act like this is normal behavior. Because the first thing I'm gonna ask you, if your son got on lipstick, dress, wig, makeup, I'm gonna ask you, so where do you think he got this from?
Man, I didn't even know you was talking about him. That's comedy.
Man, when you see this conversation, you're gonna be like, what is this? He has basically got some guys who are going to give this boy a pass for sitting up here. You know this ain't no little bitty boy. This ain't no little bitty petite boy.
He grew?
What?
What is 6'5"?
Turn eight. I thought they just said he turned 18.
If he 18, it's about to get wild.
Hold on, dog. I'm gonna go into my thoughts about it anyway, because I know a lot of people saw it. Somebody said what I'm thinking about D-Wade. Because D-Wade, all you gotta do is look at D-Wade nails.
He got his nails painted?
You gotta see this, dog. D-Wade been dressing like this. He used to wear the capris with the motherfucker. Look, D-Wade don't want the smoke like his son want to smoke. His son don't care. Right. I don't care. This is who I am. But D-Wade wants to try and make it seem like this is something, he wants to make it seem like something's wrong with you for not just accepting this for what it is.
Man.
And we're gonna talk about that. Let me ask you something. Is the video?
Him and Magic Son about to do a movie together.
What is it called?
Tu Wong Fu 2.
Tu Wong Fu 2. Hold on. Look at this, man. Look at this.
Wow.
Wait to hear him talk.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Timeout. Today we have a very special guest on the show, but before we get to our guest, let me introduce my co-host, Bob Metellus.
Just Bob.
Chris Johnson.
Coach's Corner.
And our guest today is Zaya Wade. What's up, Zaya?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Welcome to the timeout. Can we get some Zaya Wade love in here? Can we get some welcome to
Right there.
Well, thank you.
Zaya,
You
have
hear
you
him
ever watched
talk?
our show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I watched the kind of premiere episode. And it was amazing. Since then, okay, but
Enough! Cut it off.
Wait, does he have diamonds too?
D-Wade is low-key exploiting his son.
Man,
Pause it.
Joe,
He's
let me tell you something,
diamonds on
man.
his
Let me tell you something, man. We finna get into this, dog, because I'm not finna let it ride. And everybody be talking about Corey foul. Corey ain't foul. Corey is the elder in the village, and I'm speaking up for the village. Can we get that nonsense off the screen? I just wanted people to hear it. Hold on, now check this out, man. If you step to me with a boy like this, and you expect me not to address the elephant in the room, I already know you're gonna be mad at me. Because I'm gonna say, hey, what the fuck wrong with your boy? You know he can't be around my boys. I don't want none of that toxic ass up enemy behavior.
Toxic masculinity.
Ass up enemy. That's what I call it. Toxic ass up enemy behavior around my young boys. They should not have to feel the pressure of smiling it off with this man who found a way to tuck his nuts in a thong. My boys ain't got to go through that. Everybody wondering why motherfucking LeBron left Miami. There it is. That's why LeBron left Miami. I don't care what nobody say. LeBron didn't want his sons growing up having to smile and hoop with somebody who only posts you up. You can't bring no boy like that around the real elders of the village and expect us not to say, put that boy somewhere. You can't do it. I don't care what they trying to make us be in this world. You cannot present somebody like that and not expect me to address it. And that's what I'm doing, addressing it.
Well, you addressing it and he wearing dresses. I mean, it ain't fair that it's only right if you wear a dress you can address it. I should be able to address it no matter how I dress.
You had me thrown off by that, babe, because I saw Dwayne Wade's nails. He even had embellishments on them, like little
Hey, this is
diamonds.
cold blood.
I saw his nails.
Yeah, he had a
See,
big
D. Wade ain't doing right by his son because his son shouldn't have to face it by himself. D. Wade has evidence of bubonic blood going on in his world. And I think D. Wade is one of the greatest two guards in the history of the NBA. He's a top 5 two guard in the history of the NBA, basketball-wise. No, I'm not taking away from his talent. What I'm taking away from D. Wade is he expects us to be nice. And there's nothing to be nice about when you get sweaty balls in a motherfucking sundress.
He's exploiting his son, though, and it's the bitch that's putting him up to it.
Whoever putting him up to it. I know his history with his mom and everything. That ain't nothing to laugh at. We know he grew up rough.
Yeah, I mean,
he grew up rough. But I think people are born with the urge to be on the Backdoria side of the game. I think you're born that way.
Let's talk about it, y'all. That was Corey Holcomb reacting to Zaya Wade and D Wade going viral over the weekend. As you can see here, here's some pictures that were taken at Zaya Wade's 18th birthday ball. Okay, of course, a lot of people on social media, gave their reactions to these pictures. Again, this is an article from Essence.com titled Inside Zaya Wade's Stunning 18th Birthday Ball. Man, look at this, okay? And as you can see here in the caption, it says the event attended by D. Wade, Gabrielle Union, and Little Sis not only marked Zaya's milestone birthday, but also celebrated and uplifted LGBTQIA+ youth ahead of Pride, okay? Because again, this is Pride Month for the LGTB, right? QIA plus. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't know it was that many letters. Jeez. But again, these are some of the pictures that have went viral on social media over the weekend, causing a lot of mixed reactions on social media. As you can see, Corey Holcomb, he has a history of being critical of Gabrielle Union and how she essentially gets blamed for the reason why Zaya Wade, make sure I say that correctly, essentially transition, right? Become transgender, so to speak. Like I said, this is wild, man. Because again, we're in America now. It's 2025, and it's many different lifestyles and ideologies that exist within this country. And when it comes to Black people in America, this is a very interesting experience. Corey Holcomb, we all know he's going to face a lot of criticism for his takes. At the end of the day, we all have a right to express how we feel, right? And Corey Holcomb, like I said in the past, he's had a history of calling out D. Wade, Gabrielle Union for essentially introducing his lifestyle to Zaya Wade. You know what I mean? Of course, D. Wade, when fingernail polish and doing all of the things that a supportive father is supposed to do for their child, ultimately gets all of the criticism. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's for any man, this is not how they envision. You would think this is not how D. Wade would envision, the future for his children, right? His son, come on, you're talking about NBA champion, right? 3-time champion. Anyone would assume that, his children one day would want to, follow the same journey, fill the footsteps, so to speak, of their father. But instead, we're in a different world, man. And regardless of how you feel about one's lifestyle and ideology, at the end of the day, people going to do what they're going to do. They're going to live the life that they live. You get what I mean? But again, like I said, Corey Holcomb being very critical, right? Entertaining because he is a comedian. Like I said, this is something that people have expressed over the past. And there's been a lot of talk about Gabrielle Union, essentially introducing this lifestyle to D. Wade's children. And now that Zaya's officially turned 18, I mean, come on. You see the articles already showing you that Zaya is now becoming the face of a movement. But here's some more pictures. Zoom in so y'all can check it out. Some more pictures that came out over the weekend. Okay. Like I said, we living in some different times, y'all. Again, at the end of the day, people have a right to live the lifestyle they want to live. However, that you don't escape criticism because of it. And D. Wade being who he is, come on. I'm sure there's many people who have had a lot to say on these platforms. But recently, D. Wade, had Zaya up on his platform. Just came out June 1st. So, this is, like I said, D. Wade is in a very compromising position because I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. And like I said, he's taking a stance of a supportive father, despite hearing the criticisms, because we all know he's on the internet, right? And he's gone a step to the point where, like I said, he's wearing fingernail polish. You know what I mean? He's trying to be the best supportive father that one would be for their child. Because again, the world will now, target you. Now you hating your children. That's what I mean about the world and how these tactics that have been integrated into our households now ultimately divide us, man. Because we know when it came down to our people spiritually, we don't live these lifestyles. We don't practice, these ideologies. However, it's a new day. And now people, essentially have to conform. You're not even allowed to have an opinion or take. You get what I mean? But truth be told, you can't create life, living life this way. That's the truth of it all. You can say it, people will get offended, But that's the facts. However, is his father supposed to disown his child because of the lifestyle that they choose to live? This is the tricky part. And honestly, like I said, D Wade is doing exactly what any supportive father is supposed to do. The only part that, makes people very critical of him is him wearing the fingernail polish. And, you got Corey saying, listen, man, D Wade's been dressing like this for a while. You know what I mean? Maybe D Wade had something that we wasn't saying because of him on the court. I mean, all of that speculation. Come on. Again, Corey Holcomb is a comedian. But this is the part that have everybody like, okay. There's this new trend going on where men are just, I don't know. Man, they got us out here looking real sassy, man. Come on, look at this. Fingernail polish. I don't know where this trend coming from. Now, again, once upon a time you had rock stars and, the gothic crew, but now, nah, man, this is interesting. Because this is not what men do. You get what I'm saying? Come on. This is not what nigga get his. Hold on, yeah. Let me contain myself real quick. Homie got his toenails polished. Listen, man. Yeah, D Wade. Like I said, you in a compromising position. Because again, I can see it from both sides. You know what I mean? I can see how people could be very critical of D Wade. But at the same time, it's like, damn, what do you want this man to do? Disown his kids? Have the whole world going at him? Because that's exactly what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And then these are your children. Damn the world, the internet. I have to raise them. You know what I mean? I have to be there for them 24/7. It's hard enough. Zaya going to already have a tough life. 18 now. You know what I mean? Fully transition is just the lifestyle he chose. So what do you do? That's why I said we just in some very trying times in this world. If you're a black person, the experience growing up in this country, the things that they've done to us that people don't like to acknowledge, the secrets, the trauma, people have been forced to embrace these new lifestyles and ideologies in hopes to escape the system of white supremacy. We can go on for days about it and how it was, rooted into our culture, because again, we know history shows that's not how we live. You can't create life out of that. However, we are far removed from those days. We got the internet, so much scrutiny. D Wade is a brand now. He's retired. And like I said, being in his position, being a father, whew, just glad it ain't me. Like I said, Corey Holcomb is just one of many who's going to have their opinion, just like me. I'm sure you're going to have yours down in the comment section below. But again, this is what everyone was reacting to over the weekend. And like I said, it's man, very interesting. You got the damn Diddy case and all of that's going on. And then you see these pictures over the weekend and you just, like I said, all you can do is just shake your head like, damn, this is wild, man. But y'all let me know. What are your thoughts on Zaya Wade and the pictures from his 18th birthday ball celebration over the weekend? What are your thoughts on the criticism that D Wade, Gabrielle Union, and Zaya has been facing ever since going public with this lifestyle of becoming trans? As you can see, articles are now being, printed up, making Zaya the face of a movement at 18. When this was first introduced to the public, a lot of people was very critical back then because that was a child. And, some believe that those influences forced him to want to travel on this lifestyle. Now, again, all of that is speculation. But again, this is why you hear so much criticism on social media. You know what I mean? From so many people. Again, y'all let me know. What are your thoughts on all of this down in the comment section below? And also, do you think Corey Holcomb makes valid points in his reaction to D Wade embracing his son's lifestyle? Do you think D Wade is wrong for that? You know what I mean? Is Corey wrong for even having an opinion on how a man raises children? You get what I mean? It's one thing, like I said, D Wade is a public figure. Now the world has been invited into their home. Everyone is going to have a take, especially when you're doing stuff like this, wearing fingernail polish and all of that stuff. Like I said, what is a man supposed to do in a position when your son Same thing with Magic Johnson. You see Magic, he always smiling. Because at the end of the day, you never wanted to affect your children in a way where they feel like they're being, attacked or hated by the ones who created them. You know what I mean? Is it wrong for a father to feel like a failure if his son embraces this lifestyle? Like I said, I'm curious to know, what is your take on all of this? Because through all of the clown takes and the laughs and the jokes and all of that, I mean, there are people who are really living this lifestyle. Whether we accept it or not, what do we say for those who are, you know what I'm saying, in those footsteps, in those shoes on the regular? Because like I said, in 2025, this is truly a different world. But again, y'all let me know your thoughts on everything down in the comment section below. Like I said, that's all I got for y'all today. Again, if y'all want to see this full episode of Corey Holcomb on the 5150, I'll make sure to leave the link in the description. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all today. Again, my name is Sensei Rip. Till next time, peace. Salute world, I need y'all to do me a favor right quick and tap into the homie Grand Finale's latest video titled Sidelines. Okay, the full video is available on his YouTube channel. However, I'm about to bless y'all with a quick teaser. Okay, if you like what you hear, make sure to head on over to his channel and leave a comment. All right, and make sure to tell him that Rip sent you. Okay, run them numbers up. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.
Upon the world before you dearly depart.
Let the world go by. Let the world go by, and it'll all be just fine.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also hit that notification bell to get the latest on hip-hop, sports, comedy, whatever. All right, we got you covered over here at Forgotten Kings TV, and also click on one of these videos, okay? All right, y'all.